Yeah, maths is not reality.
3 coplanar points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really
totally
is.
agree with
Level.
It really
totally
is.
agree with
Level. Level.
And bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
Yeah, maths is not reality. I want to talk with you about that Paul you have.
Oh, right. Yeah. Is the surface of a sphere 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional? Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your proof of it being 3-dimensional?
I look at them and go, that's 3-dimensional, that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the proof.
Yep. Why, what proof have you got?
Quite rigorous.
Pardon?
I sent you a document. Look in your DMs.
In my DMs?
From me. Yeah, I sent you.
Oh, Jesus.
I
How long
can-
ago was that?
It was the 9th,
Oh,
sorry.
the dimensionality of a sphere. PDF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, and what's that going to do?
So I proved it right there.
It
I
proves
proved
what?
that it is
Sorry?
a two-dimensional object.
No, a sphere is a 3-dimensional object, right? And the surface of that sphere, whichever sphere it is, wraps around the outside of that 3-dimensional object. That's just my point of view. I mean,
Okay, that's fair. Now I want you to prove it, not say just I look at it. Prove it with maths. I like you love maths. So prove
you
it.
just
It
go
is
around
provable.
it and look at it, and there is 3 dimensions. It has length, breadth, and depth.
But that's where it is embedded. It is not the sphere itself.
It wraps around, it bounds the sphere, the surface of a sphere. Bounds it.
A sphere is a surface. You can look the definition. A sphere is a surface. If you're talking about a ball that is filled, that's a ball. It is called a ball, and it is not to be confused with a sphere that is not the same as a ball because it's just the surface. A sphere is a surface. You can look at the definition.
So hang on a minute. You think you live on a sphere, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about this.
So you think you live on a sphere. The sphere is a surface, and the surface is observably flat. Now that's come from Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said the surface is observably flat.
Okay, but you're changing the topic. I'm not talking about right now.
How can I be changing the topic? We're talking about a sphere.
He agrees with you, though, don't you? Do you not agree with him, Pepe, that it's 2-dimensional, right?
It is 2-dimensional, which doesn't mean flat.
Doesn't mean flat.
It's length times breadth. There's 2 dimensions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, length
so how can that not
times
be flat?
breadth.
Yeah.
It's like a surface of a plane. That's book 1, plane geometry. That's stated, isn't it? The definition of a plane is length times breadth.
Yeah.
And a plane
is 2 dimensions.
But that doesn't mean that a plane is 2-dimensional, but that doesn't mean that the only thing is 2-dimensional is a plane. That's...
Yeah, but how can a plane not be flat?
Look up the definition.
There's no third dimension for it to curve in. So therefore it's 2-dimensional. It's a flat. Right?
Yeah. I agree with that. I'm not saying it's not.
There's no wrong there.
But I'm saying that a plane is not the only thing that is 2-dimensional, right?
What else is then?
Go on. Give us another one.
A sphere.
A sphere is 3-dimensional object, right?
Prove it.
Prove it?
Yeah, prove it.
Like, have you got any balls near you?
Yeah, I have.
Right, can it roll on the floor?
Yeah, we're talking maths.
Can a flat roll? Or can you get a 2-dimensional object to roll along the floor for us?
There is no proof.
What?
I'm asking for mathematical proof. Mathematical
Oh
proof.
man.
No,
Dude.
mathematical proof.
Hey, we
Yeah.
need to maybe bring it back to reality.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's deal with reality, right? That's better.
Yeah.
The
No,
best
because
place
maths
to
is
deal
not
with
reality.
this is
Or
reality.
do we live on a
Maths
textbook?
is not reality.
Maths is not
Do we live in a
reality.
textbook?
Maths is not reality.
Well,
Well,
why do you want us to explain it in then? Like what? Dude.
In math,
So
it's mathematical concepts.
Wouldn't you
Prove
prefer
it
a real
mathematically.
world example? Isn't a real world example much better than a mathematical concept?
Yeah,
Well,
there is.
Nice
roll
one,
a ball
Pepe.
on the floor.
And what does the proof? That it is three-dimensional.
Observable, repeatable.
Yeah, but maths is not a science, Beb. So don't come with that.
No, but we're not the one that is asking for a mathematical model. We're demonstrating it in reality, not requiring
can't do
a
that with math.
mathematical.
You can do that with maths.
Who cares about maths?
I do, because we're talking about math.
Yeah, but we don't care about maths. Maths only models things. We're talking about the
things,
really
right?
is level.
Yeah. But I'm not talking about Earth right now. I'm talking about a sphere. A sphere is a mathematical concept, right?
It's a three-dimensional object.
Okay, go search a citation for that, please. Anywhere in the internet that says a sphere is a three-dimensional surface, please. Can you do that? I love Riley here. Love citations. Can you provide one? I can certainly provide with definitions that say it is a 2D surface.
You can see what? I'm finding the definition of Euclidean geometry. All right. Will you accept that? The first two, book 11.
Yeah. Okay. And where can you see that says that a sphere is a three-dimensional
It starts
surface?
off with number 1. It says a solid is that which has length, breadth, and thickness. And then it says number 2, that which bounds a solid is a superficies, which means
Can
surface.
you search the definition of a superficie?
It's a surface.
A superficie.
It's a surface.
Yeah, surface. Search the definition of surface, please.
Yeah. So that which
Can you search the
bounds
definition of
a
surface?
solid is a surface. That's the
Yeah.
definition of a surface in relation to a three-dimensional object. Right,
Yeah, I
because it's
agree.
just stated just before it
Well, so
that a
it
solid.
wouldn't be three-dimensional without a surface, would it?
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so can you search the definition of a surface, please?
The surface of a three-dimensional object
A surface.
is
It
that
doesn't matter.
which bounds that three-dimensional object. It's there in the definition, right?
I
1
want the general
and 2
one.
for the mathematics, for the geometry that you're going to use, right?
Yeah.
We are using Euclidean geometry, right?
Yeah.
Right, well, there you go then. There's the definitions of a three-dimensional object and the surface that bounds it.
Can you read, please?
Oh, you can have a
From
read.
that-
I've just read my stuff. You read your stuff.
Okay. Perfect. In mathematics, a surface is a generalization of a plane, which is not necessarily flat. That is, the curvature is not necessarily zero. This is analogous to a curve generated but a surface is a generalization of a plane. What is a plane, Beb? You said it. What is a plane? 2D, right?
Yeah.
So a surface is?
A surface is that which bounds a
Is
three-dimensional
2D.
object.
A surface is 2D, right? If it's the generalization of a plane, it
Well,
can only be 2D.
the surface of a square is two-dimensional, yes. I'll give you that.
Yeah. No,
The surface of a circle is two-dimensional, yeah, I'll give you that.
No,
the
a circle
surface
doesn't have
of a
surface.
sphere, which is a three-dimensional object, is three-dimensional.
No.
Yeah, it has
It says
curvature to it.
Yeah,
that
it says-
curvature can be measured and it curves
it
in
can.
every direction from the point that you were on. It constantly curves.
3D object. It means it is embedded in 3D space, but the object is two-dimensional.
No,
It is
3D
easy.
is 3 coordinates: length, breadth, and thickness. A
That is where it's embedded.
two-dimensional object does not have that.
And a sphere doesn't have that.
Of course it does. It's a 3-dimensional object.
It is embedded in 3D. but
Listen, this
it doesn't
comes
have
from
it.
a question, right? That I said, is a sphere, the surface of a sphere, 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional? Now, I'm not pushing my view on anyone. I will state once again, I think it's a 3-dimensional surface, right, of a 3-dimensional object. Now, it's up to you if you want to think it's 2-dimensional. I mean, you can do that.
I know.
But you
I'm
will
trying to explain to you.
You will
why
not
it is
convince me that a surface of a 3-dimensional object is in fact 2-dimensional.
So you said 3D surface, right?
Yes, of course. A surface, a
So
sphere
what
is a
what was the definition of
3-dimensional
surface?
object, right?
What was the definition of surface?
A sphere is a 3-dimensional object. Yes
What was the definition
or
of
no?
surface?
Is that
What
a
was the
yes or
definition
no?
of surface? No.
No, it's a no. You don't think a sphere is a 3-dimensional object?
No.
No, you don't think that, or is that a yes? You do think that? No, I do.
I don't. I think it is a 2D object, and well, I don't think it is. It definitely is.
A 2D
It's
object.
not a question of yes.
So when you put like a spherical object in your hand, like a ball,
Yeah.
is that 2D?
No.
Right.
A
there
ball
you go.
is 3D. A ball is in fact 3D. The surface of that
Ball
ball,
is
which is a
3D,
sphere,
but a sphere isn't.
yeah, a sphere is the surface of that ball. It's only the surface. A ball is all the ball, including the stuff inside. But a sphere is only the surface. So the surface is two-dimensional.
So what are you trying to get at here then? Like what?
I just want to prove Beb that Beb is wrong. He's saying that it is 3D.
I asked a question, didn't I? I'm
Yes,
wrong to ask a question. Is
No,
the surface
you're answering
of a
the
sphere
question.
3D or 2D?
And you say it's 2D. I 3D, so
No, I say
want
it's
to prove,
3D. Yeah.
Yeah, you say
Obviously.
it's 3D, so I
Observably.
want to prove that it is not.
Well,
No, observably.
just did you click the button on the thing then? Did you actually do the
Yeah, I did.
thing on Twitter?
course.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think it's 2-dimensional, right?
Yeah, because it is.
It's like, is that because it has to be, or like? I mean,
No. This has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. It's a mathematical concept.
Right. Okay. Can I ask a question? Right.
Yeah.
If you got a cube, right? Is a cube 3-dimensional?
Yeah. Cube is
Okay.
3-dimensional.
And so what is the surface of a cube? Is that 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional?
Yeah, it will be two-dimensional.
It would be 2-dimensional.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different shape. That's a cross. A cube in a 2-dimensional form is a cross. The same as a sphere in a 2-dimensional form is a circle.
But still, the surface would be 2D. It doesn't matter.
It's a completely different shape, though.
It is not.
It is.
But you can imagine the surface of a cube like a cross, but still, it doesn't matter if the cube is like constructed or in cross form. The dimensionality.
But it still
doesn't
takes
change.
on a different shape. The same
If
as a sphere. A sphere
it
takes on a different shape in the 2-dimensional form. It's called a circle.
No.
Yes.
A sphere is a surface. So a sphere is a surface. It's not so what as a circle is actually one-dimensional, and that is embedded in 2 dimensions.
Oh, don't
So can I
say
ask you
that.
something?
Come
Two
on.
seconds,
Well,
Ken.
Yeah.
Pepe, so how would you describe the shape of the Earth?
The shape of the Earth is a geoid.
Is a what?
Is a what? Sorry?
Geoid.
Geoid.
Right, and is
Yeah.
that 3D or 2D?
That's 3D.
Ah, okay.
That's 3D.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many coordinates do you need to find a position?
In the whole Earth, 3. If you're including the stuff inside. So if we're talking about the ball.
No. I just want a
In the
position.
surface.
Yeah.
In the 2. In the surface, it's 2.
So your geoid is 3D,
Yeah.
but you only
And
need
its surface,
two coordinates to find a position on that 3D
the
geoid.
surface of that geoid is 2D.
So we
But
live in we live in a 2D realm. The realm we live in
the
is
surface
2D.
that he thinks he lives on is 2-dimensional, right? Pepe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that correct then?
What?
Are you a 2-dimensional earther?
No.
Oh, no, you're not.
The Earth is not 2-dimensional.
Well, okay, so if the Earth isn't 2 dimensions, why do you not need that third dimension to find your location?
So we live only at the surface of Earth. So
which is
we are in a surface.
which is what?
2D.
2D. There we go. Bingo.
Yeah, because as you said, you'll need two numbers to specify your location, right?
You know there's mountains and valleys, right?
It's still you need only to.
Yeah, but there's a vertical height component, right?
Yeah, but
Isn't
that
there?
vertical height
We call it elevation, right?
Yeah, but that vertical
stops
height
that negates the 2D stuff, doesn't it? So can we say it's 2D underneath that, and then add the topography on over the top of the 2D bit? Would that be acceptable?
It would still be 2D if we hadn't at one point if we hadn't
dude, you can think it's 2D all day if you want. Brilliant.
Yeah, I will. So let me finish. Let me try to get this across. So if there's mountains, it could be 2D, even though there's mountains.
Oh,
if we don't have,
come on! You've got to see the mountains. They're definitely 3D, right?
Can you wait?
So we've got 2-dimensional mountains now.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
It's getting flatter.
I didn't say that.
Love it.
So if we only had one height for every point in Earth, that would be 2D. But we normally have different heights for every point on Earth. So that requires that third coordinate that Deb says elevation. But if we only had one unique height for every point on Earth, it would still be 2D.
What, only had one unit height? What does
one
that
unique
mean?
One unique. If you're in a point on Earth, you can be at
sea
different
level.
height.
Like imagine something called sea level, something like that. One unique height that everything was measured above.
Yeah, but that's for every point.
Hypsometry above and bathymetry below, right? That one unique.
No, you're not understanding me, but it doesn't matter.
I'm not. Well, explain then. This one unique height that's 2-dimensional and.
Okay, so it is difficult to explain.
Sounds it.
If we had, imagine you're at a point on Earth.
A point.
And yeah, any point at the top of a mountain, for example. So what would it take for it to be truly describable in 2 coordinates? You would need to, on that point, not be able to go up or down.
But you can't at that because that's why you have an X, Y, and Z coordinate system, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's spherical coordinates.
What, X, Y, and Z is spherical
No,
coordinates? No.
that's not spherical coordinates. That's two angles and
But
a
that
distance.
is like a grid coordinate system, right?
What? What?
Because that's what we have in the UK, right? We have grid coordinates. Because when anybody in the UK gets a map out and they open it all up, right, we have grid coordinate system. Squares.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you say not that system, like, but that is basically what we have. You have the X and the Y that are led down on the map.
Actually,
And then the contour lines are shown as the Z coordinate, right?
Those coordinates are actually longitude and latitude coordinates. They are not.
No. Not in the UK,
Euclidean.
they're not. No. We have a grid coordinate system.
Yeah, that's because, well, look at the image. It seems like a grid too.
We have,
but well, yeah.
we have the prime meridian, right, in the UK.
Yeah.
So they just used that as a baseline and then made square grid coordinates from that, keeping, I'm guessing, X and Y on the grid coordinate.
No, the coordinates
that's
are
how our maps
latitude
work
and
here.
longitude. But they are not called longitude, X and Y. They are called longitude and latitude, right?
No, they're just called grid coordinates.
Yeah, but every coordinate,
They all
the
have
two
like
independent
letters,
coordinates.
and then you mark points from every like that when you go orienteering in the UK. So I mean, I don't know. Like you're talking longitude, latitude coordinates, right? Well, we don't do that in the UK. So you'll have a job. You'll have to explain what you're talking about if you want to tell anybody here, especially the people from the UK. So go on, off you go. Explain yourself, please, and then we'll take it from there.
I search grid coordinates. The first result, it says latitude and longitude.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're square, you think? The square grid coordinates, the latitude and longitude.
Well, no, because latitude and longitude are a spherical coordinate system.
Well, so say that again then. You looked up grid coordinates and it told you latitude, longitude. And then when I said, are they the same thing? You went, no, they can't be the same thing. But you were quite happy to type it in and look it up and think that they were the same thing. But then backtracked pretty quickly when I asked you about it. What's that about, Pepe?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you just explain longitude, latitude for the people that may not understand?
Yeah, it's a spherical system, coordinate system that gives you two angles, and you can locate every point on a sphere.
Which way's which? Which one's up and down? Which one's left and right?
Yeah.
There's no up and down, and there's no left and right.
Okay. So how are you going to explain it then?
Hang on a minute, he just said a sphere. There is up and down and left and right on a sphere. Unless he's transposing that sphere to the surface of the Earth, in which case, according to them, there is no up and down. And
on a sphere, there is no up and down.
To be fair, DP, I want to hear him explain it without using the term.
What about a geoid? We're talking about a geoid, aren't we?
2 secs, guys. I think maybe you might be saying that it's east and west, north and south.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, so your issue was with the up, down, left, right, not north, south, east, and west. All right, forgive me. Which one's which?
I don't know.
Which one's north, south?
Get him to explain it, Tony.
Yeah, so which one's north to south? Which one's east to west?
I don't know.
You don't know?
But you're going to tell us about it, though, right?
No, I was here to discuss the dimensions of a sphere.
You said you were going to explain latitude and longitude to us. How can you do that if you don't know which is latitude and which is longitude?
I was talking about latitude and longitude
Well,
in a mathematical sense, not in
how
real
can
world
you-
application.
How
Not-
can you
did
explain
you hear
it
that?
if you don't
Did you hear
understand
that?
it? in a real-
DP, did you hear what he just said? In a mathematical context, not in the real
Yeah.
world.
in the
Because
real
we were
world.
talking mathematics.
No.
Yeah, we've just been discussing the mathematics and reality difference, but doesn't seem to see the difference.
We are talking about real world here. All we do is talk about real world here.
Okay,
Enough
so
of your mathematical models. They don't mean anything here.
I wasn't talking
mathematical
about
model-
a mathematical model.
It doesn't mean anything.
I was talking about maths
It doesn't
and
matter.
the dimensions of a sphere.
We talk about the real world here. We talk about
Okay, so
the world
I didn't
around
come here
us.
to talk about that.
You didn't come here to talk about what did you
You
come
didn't-
here to talk about? The 2D,
The dimensions of a
3D.
sphere. Yeah, about that.
mathematical model that you think you live on.
No model.
Well, it's a 2D sphere, isn't it? That's the worrying thing for me, because I've always thought that spheres were 3D.
Well, you were wrong.
According to you, he was wrong.
According to maths.
You're saying that the surface is 2D on
Yeah.
the sphere.
And
Yeah.
according to the maths that you've just stated, isn't real.
So should we go back to the relationship between coordinates and the surface?
But he doesn't understand the coordinate system. He doesn't know which is longitude, which is latitude. He can't tell the difference.
Why would I need
Well, maybe
to
you might have got
understand
them
that?
mixed up, but
Why would I need to understand that specific case, which is applied on Earth? And I'm not talking about Earth. I'm talking about mathematics.
We are talking about Earth.
Like,
I am not.
I'll get a picture of this, but I'll just quote it for the second, right? A sphere is a solid figure described by the revolution of a semicircle about its diameter, which remains fixed.
That's Euclid, right?
Yeah. Book
now
11,
it's changed.
solid geometry.
The definition of a sphere has changed now.
What?
Yeah, look it up.
You've changed Euclid's.
But well, it doesn't know.
We did say that about you. We are dealing with Euclidean geometry, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Right. Well, so you say Euclid changed what he said
No.
about a sphere.
No, well, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so if you want to talk about a sphere being the inside too, we can talk about the surface of a sphere is two-dimensional. Then it doesn't matter.
What?
But now the convention is that a sphere is a surface. It's not the complete ball.
Why is that?
I'm confused.
Why do you think it changed? Why did you? Yeah, go on. Because it was a 3D, and I remember it being a 3D.
It was.
I mean, I don't think I heard when the change occurred. Sorry, I'm gonna have to talk to.
It never changed.
No, I'm talking about Danny. Oh, go ahead.
See, now it's changed. It says a sphere is a geometrical object in three-dimensional space that is the surface of a ball, the surface. And then it goes on to explain, to clarify that and the difference between a sphere and a ball.
Right, I'm going to have to go, guys. I've got to go and pick the missus up. Scooter breakdown.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
Okay.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
You twat. How do we know the Earth is not flat?
We don't. It's flat.
That was that.
understanding of the world in which you live, then of course the world looks flat. The world looks flat. The world looks flat.
Neil,
Bitch, you twat.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. 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 What I do.
But I don't have much patience for anyone who denies that this challenge is real. We don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Flat Earth Society.
My friends, these people are so out of touch with science. You don't need to be a scientist to know that the Earth is round.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not have believed that the world was round.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash.